Because we're gonna do another one just to show you guys. Engine's out, as you saw in the time lapse. This is rebuild of the Drift FC. So now that the engine's out, you can see this is tweaked this way. This is tweaked pretty far in, and then that's bent into itself a little bit. So we opened it up, everything looks good. So rotor bearings are good. I mean, we have some broken corner seals here and there, and mainly that's because we had the fuel pump issues, and it leaned out and detonated a lot this year. So the housings, they're not that bad. Honestly, if I freshen it up, they're reusable. The bearings look good, nice and fresh. Same thing, this housing has a scratch right here, but that was there before when I assembled it. So I think a nice resurfacing would do. This one's little coppery right here, and that's because the belt was too tight. So we need to keep that in mind, not to over tighten the belt. But other than that, the motor, after a year of use, it looks good. So that's think crazy.
Expecting way more.
Yeah, we were expecting bad things, so it actually looks pretty good. We're gonna clean it. I'm not replacing the housings. I'm gonna reuse them again. And we're gonna change the rotors. So we're not using the Rx8 rotors anymore. We're gonna use Rx7 rotors and get rid of the high compression and leave it with the lower Rx7 compression. That way we're not that susceptible to to detonation. The high compression makes it a lot harder on these engines. I went ahead and I straightened out the radiator. It's aluminum, so it's malleable. It's straightened out, but you can see the bracket was super tweaked. So I just pushed it, straightened it out. I mean, those are just vertical fins. I'm gonna pressure test it, but I don't think I have to replace the radiator. So that's good news. We don't have to do that fabrication, all that stuff done and set. So next week, the car is going to the frame shop. I got the rotors in the room. We're gonna change from the Rx8 rotors to the Rx7 rotors. It didn't really do what I wanted it to do performance-wise. And we were kind of always limited to like E85 because of it. So, you know, I wanna be able to, if we don't have E85 at a track and we don't have premix, I wanna be able to use pump gas and regular premix and not hurt the engine. We were forced to run this engine without premix a couple times, mainly because we didn't, you know, it's really, really hard to get premix. There's only 3 types of premix you can use, and it's not something you can find super, super readily available. So I have the rotor, the motor and the parts washer right here. Housings aren't crazy. We're still gonna resurface them, no issue there. But I mean, it was powder coated white, but I'm not gonna powder coat it again. It is what it is. It's gonna look like that. Bearings look good, no issues there. Same thing with the rotor bearings. The rotor bearings were good. As much as we abused this car, everything looked good, no issues there. So super, super excited. I have the other set of rotors over here on the table. Have to clean them. These are just some rotors I had laying around. So a friend of mine, Kenny, had these in his garage for years. So he ended up bringing me a set of rotors. So we're just gonna use these on the RX-7. I'm gonna clearance them. I'm gonna weight match them, and I'm gonna balance them to the engine. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna show too much. I mean, this is just mainly our little refresh. We're just gonna put the engine back in, button up, do the tubing. So I don't want to turn it into an engine rebuild video because there's really not much going on other than balancing. So I'm gonna get this set up today. I'm gonna clean the engine, stack it, put it together, put it back in the car. That way, when it goes to the frame machine, it runs and it doesn't need to be pushed around. So it was running before, but we're just changing these rotors. I'm almost done balancing. We have to replace the E-shaft and front and rear counterweight because the rotors that were in it were Rx7 rotors. Are way lighter. They're around 4,000 grams. And these new ones are 4,600 grams, even after recycling it and all that stuff. So it's way, way, way heavier. So we usually, instead of having to fill the holes that we already drilled, I just replace the rear counterweight, the front counterweight, and the E-shaft, which is also lighter on the Rx7, and I put all Rx7 stuff. So right now, we got everything under a gram of tolerance. So it's good to go. No issues right there. It's ready to go. I'm gonna build the rotors tomorrow and assemble the motor and keep going down the list of stuff we gotta do to it. So housings came out great. All resurfaced, good to go. So there really wasn't any damage. That's ready to go. The plates, I just gotta clean them one more time. We don't have to do any machining because we're reusing the housings. So that's like, saves us a lot of time. And as far as the apex seals, we're reusing them because the Rx7 rotors, we had them modified to Rx7 apex seals. So the apex seals can be reused and the springs. So I have the apex seals right here. We use the Road Aviation one. So these are the super seals. Nothing wrong with them, perfectly fine. Again, we're only doing this to replace the rotors to do Rx7. Not that we had any issues with them. It's just the high compression. I didn't really see a horsepower gain to be like, oh yeah, like they're awesome. The biggest difference between us and whatever other balancing shop there is that we are testing this stuff. We are putting this stuff through the paces. We are showing you what it can do. You guys saw me balance the engine for this car. You guys saw me beat the crap out of it for a whole year. So you get to see it with your own eyes that this stuff works. So if you guys need any engines balanced, let me know. We have people send us rotating assemblies. We balance them. They put them together or we put them together. Doesn't matter. But this is super, super important part of building a rotary engine. All right, so just like that, it's back together. It ain't the prettiest engine out there. Obviously, you can tell it's been used, abused. That used to be white, but it's back together. S4NA rotors, heavier mass. It's going to be better for drifting. Less compression, but that's not going to be a huge deal. It gives us the opportunity to run pump gas. If we don't have E85, it gives us the opportunity to run different premixes that we're not stuck to E85 only. Excited to see what the difference is. I mean, we have side by side. It's going to be the same exact setup as before. So we have dyno graphs. We can show you the difference that it was these rotors versus the Rx7 ones. Again, it's a turbo engine, but it does not have turbo rotors. It's S4NA. So there's still higher compression than the factory one. So it's still gonna be the same concept, high compression, but it's not as aggressive as the Rx7 ones. All right, so the engine is fully dressed, ready to go in. Intake turbo, fuel rails, everything is on it. So it just needs to drop in. Everything here is with Deutsch connectors, quick disconnects, nothing crazy. It should just plug right in. And Friday, it's going to the frame shop. So nothing different. It's not gonna sound different. It's really not gonna be anything crazy different. It's just the rotors, so you're not gonna tell. But hopefully there's some performance gains on it and it drives a lot better. So let's throw this in real quick. We'll be ready for the frame machine. All right, got it back, done. So it looks straight now, no issues, frame rails are good. I just have the fenders thrown on here right now, so they're not lined up. We still gotta line this up, but that's my job right now. But yeah, so everything looks good. It's not tweaked like 6 inches anymore. The frame rails are straight. Reed got the strut towers straightened out, so that's the most important part before we did anything too crazy. Don't want to do too front end off a twisted car. So but now we can bolt up the intercooler, the radiator back on, and get the car running again and give it a new lease on life. Twice you giving it a new lease on life. So this is the second time I crashed it.
Hopefully the last time.
Hopefully
Hopefully the last
well
time.
I mean yeah, it's a year of leveling up, you know. So this last one was a big oopsie, but you know. But yeah, excited. Thanks again to Reed for getting this shit straight.
Not a problem.
And now it's busy time. Intercooler piping, new mounts, and lining everything up. Alright, so I don't have the side skirts on, but as you can see, the hood, the fenders line up perfectly. So we just gotta make some brackets for the bumper. The radiator's also on. So looks good. All right, guys, so I just got done making the intercooler piping on that side, and I'm putting coolant in the car now. So as far as I can see, that's the same radiator. I just bent it back as best as I could. It's not leaking, so no issues there. I replaced the flange on the end tank that was bent, redid the piping, and it looks good, you know. I do see a little guy right there. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that little guy right there. But pretty much it's as best as it's gonna get for this weekend. I'm gonna bolt everything back on. I'll probably take the hood off because the hood still needs to be fixed. But we've been drifting it almost the whole year without a hood, so it's not gonna be a big deal. So, but yeah, looks like a car again. Super excited. All right, so I said it was ending, but I guess not. I ended up deleting these fins that were leaking and they were bent. So now we have 0 leaks. The car is ready to go. And yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.